I never thought I'd see the day when our HOA president would stoop so low she'd steal from my own son, a grown man with a disability who's never hurt anyone. But that's exactly what Brenda did, rolling up in her shiny white SUV, looking like she's never even jaywalked. And when I caught her red-handed, she called 911 on me like I was the criminal. Maybe next time she should ask her neighbor what he did for a living before picking a fight, because I spent 25 years as a cop, property crimes no less. She really had no idea who she was messing with. If you've ever had a neighbor steal from you, you know that sick feeling in your gut, right? Let me know in the comments what you would have done, because I guarantee some of you would have lost your cool a lot faster than I did. I've lived in Meadowbrook Gardens for 15 years now, raised my son Tyler here after my wife passed. It's your classic suburban spot where folks wave from the driveway and the HOA polices the color of your mailbox. Tyler's 23, works at Save Mart stocking shelves 3 days a week. He loves that job, loves the feeling of earning his own money. It's not a king's ransom, $12.50 a month, but it means everything to him. A car accident when he was 12 left him with some cognitive issues, nothing major, but he trusts people more than he should. So I noticed right away when July rolled around and his check never showed. Tyler checked the mailbox a dozen times a day. Sure, it would turn up, but nothing. Called Save Mart payroll. They said it went out on the 25th, 3 weeks back. I figured it was the post office, being the post office, right? Called them, got a tired clerk who told me to wait another week. But then August came and went, and now the August check vanished too. I walked in one afternoon to find Tyler crying in the kitchen, clutching a medical insurance bill. "Dad, if I don't pay this, I lose my coverage." That did it. The cold knot in my stomach turned to concrete. One missing check is bad luck, 2 in a row, something else entirely. Next morning, I got on the phone demanding answers. Payroll confirmed both checks were mailed, both delivered. The post office told me the same, everything delivered, no exceptions. Then the supervisor said something that made my blood run cold. Sometimes people find ways around locks. If you suspect theft, file a police report, install a camera. That word theft just hung in the air. I went outside and checked the mailbox. Lock looked fine, but Tyler admitted he left it open. Most days he kept checking for the mail, hoping maybe it would show up early. Whoever was doing this, they knew Tyler's habits. They were counting on him being too trusting. That evening, Tyler barely ate dinner, just pushed his food around while the TV droned in the background. I tried to reassure him, but it was like I could see the fear on his face. He thought it was his fault. That made me angrier than anything. And then as we cleaned up, Tyler said it like it was nothing. "Oh, Dad, I saw Miss Brenda get mail from our box yesterday. She said she'd bring it over since she was already getting hers." My hand froze. Did she ever bring it? Tyler frowned, tried to remember. "No, actually, I haven't seen her since." He gave me the day, Wednesday, around 4. Brenda Morrison, HOA president, lives right across the street, always immaculate, always the first to send emails about compliance and bake sales. And according to Tyler, she'd taken our mail and never brought it over. I moved to the window, watched her silhouette moving around her perfect living room. Was it innocent? Maybe she just forgot. But the timing was too neat, 2 missing checks, and Brenda's helpfulness. That night I barely slept, just stared at the ceiling, running every scenario in my head. If she did this to us, who else had she stolen from the old guy down the street, the young couple with twins? How many people had she targeted, counting on folks to blame the mail or their own memory? Morning came, and I decided I was going to give her a chance to explain face to face before I did anything official. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was all a misunderstanding. Waited until I saw her car in the driveway, then walked over, heart pounding harder than it ever did in uniform. She opened the door in a pink yoga outfit, blonde highlights catching the sun, smile wide. "Good morning. What can I do for you?" "What?" I kept it easy. "Morning, Brenda. Tyler mentioned seeing you at our mailbox last Wednesday. Said you were getting our mail." Her smile froze, just a hair. "Your mail?" "No, I don't think so." Tyler must be confused. I pressed gently. "He was pretty sure, said you told him you'd bring it by later." Now she crossed her arms, voice going tight. I don't know what he thinks he saw, but I would never touch someone else's mail. That's illegal, you know. The speed of her defense said everything. An innocent person would be confused, not accusatory. I told her we were missing 2 checks, both marked as delivered, both vanished. She glanced at her expensive bracelet. Her husband got laid off last year, but she's wearing new diamonds. That sounds like a post office problem, she said, tone pure dismissal. Maybe Tyler is misremembering. You know how he can be. That last bit made my jaw clench. I told her straight, if Tyler's mail keeps disappearing, I'm filing a police report. And for a second, her whole act cracked real fear, then brittle laughter. File whatever you want. Just be careful making accusations you can't back up. I have a reputation here. The door shut almost a slam. I stood on her porch staring at her wreath. An innocent person doesn't threaten when you mention the police. I walked home, ran into George, the elderly guy with the limp. Something made me ask, George, have you ever had mail go missing? He hesitated, then nodded. Social Security checks last year, 2 months in a row. He'd suspected Brenda, but with no proof, police couldn't help. Who'd believe an old widower over the HOA president, he said. But if you can stop her, don't let her keep hurting people. Back home, I ordered a camera, night vision, motion activated the works. Then I opened the drawer where my old badge sat, 25 years. All those cases, all those liars. I looked across the street at Brenda's house. This wasn't an accident. She picked her victims carefully, the elderly, the disabled folks she thought couldn't fight back. But she made one mistake. She picked my son. Camera arrived Monday. I set it up camouflaged in the oak tree lens right on the mailbox. Tyler came home, grinned about work, didn't even notice the surveillance. 3 days passed, nothing, just neighbors, mailman, squirrels. I was almost ready to give up. Then Thursday, SaveMart confirms Tyler's new check went out October 1st. Friday night, Brenda walked past our box, not stopping, just looking. She was casing, waiting. Monday, Tyler picked up an extra shift. Tuesday at lunch, I scrolled through footage, and there she was. Brenda beige jacket, walking up the driveway, checking the street, opening the box, flipping through envelopes, pulling out Tyler's check, tucking it into her pocket, walking home. 93 seconds, all on tape. I watched that video 3 times, vindication fury. I called my old partner Marcus Harris, now a detective. Sent him the video. That's clean footage, he said. But you need the bank images. If it's not Tyler's signature, that's felony fraud. We went to the bank, got copies, the check was cashed 30 miles away, signature, totally different from Tyler's. Filed the fraud report, photographed everything. That evening I emailed Brenda, firm but civil, said I had video and would file a police report unless we resolved it. Within an hour she called, voice tight controlled. I told her I had footage of her removing Tyler's paycheck. She laughed, said I was mistaken. I pressed harder. Described the video, the bank images, the forgery. Then came the threat. You're making an enemy of the wrong person. Things could get uncomfortable for you in this neighborhood. I brought up George. She snapped, called him senile. He switched to direct deposit right after his checks stopped disappearing. I set up a public meeting, my front yard, 3 p.m., where everyone could see. She tried to get me alone, but I refused. Wednesday, I canvassed the neighborhood. George agreed to testify. 7 households, 2 more had missing mail. An elderly woman cried, scared to challenge Brenda. The pattern was clear. At 3 p.m., I waited outside. Brenda came across posture-rigid neighbors watching. I confronted her, showed her the video. She denied, then pivoted to, I was just being neighborly. I pointed out the forged check. She claimed it was all a setup, demanded a lawyer, then threatened to call the cops. I said, let's do it. She called 911, her big mistake. The squad car arrived. Brenda put on her distressed act, accused me of harassment. The officer, Murphy, took my statement. I showed him the video, the bank records. His tone changed. This is a federal offense. Called for a detective. Brenda was losing it now. Hands shaking. Neighbors were recording. Tyler asked what was happening. The truth is coming out, Bud. Then out of nowhere, Rachel, the HOA secretary, ran across the street. I need to say something. She confessed Brenda had been making her hide evidence sign false documents, help cover up the theft. She'd kept a box of discarded mail documents, everything. Harris, the detective, arrived, took charge, collected Rachel's evidence, dozens of envelopes, checks, a ledger of names, dates, amounts. It was all there, $2,400 over 2 years, at least 20 victims. Harris arrested Brenda on the spot, mail theft, fraud, forgery. Neighbors watched in stunned silence. That night, Tyler hugged Rachel George, thanked her. I promised to see this through. Harris called next morning, needed formal statements at the station. Tyler was nervous, dressed in his best shirt. Harris was gentle, took his statement, took mine, processed all the evidence. 22 victims so far, more coming in by the day. The DA decided to charge Brenda with every count they could mail, theft, fraud, forgery, even racketeering. Brenda's lawyer tried for a plea deal, community service restitution, no jail time. The DA refused. Rachel filed for a restraining order. I helped her with paperwork. Brenda tried to sell her house but couldn't leave the county bail conditions. The neighborhood started talking. Stories came out, cards gone missing, checks never delivered. At the emergency HOA meeting, Brenda tried to bluff her way through claimed innocence, but George stood up, called her out. Rachel confirmed the threats, confessed in front of the whole room. Brenda cracked, confessed to borrowing, broke down as the whole neighborhood watched. Vote was unanimous. Brenda removed as president, ostracized, her reputation destroyed. Trial came. Tyler testified. I did too. Rachel George, dozens of others. Jessica, the DA, laid out the case, played the video, the confession, the ledger, every damning detail. Brenda's defense tried to play the sympathy card, but the evidence was overwhelming. Guilty on all counts. 32 victims, over $31,000, 7 years in state prison, full restitution, permanently barred from HOA office. Brenda was led away, her perfect life reduced to nothing. Tyler was promoted at Save Mart. Rachel got a real job with the new board. George walked taller. At the neighborhood barbecue, people came to thank me. Some just wanted to talk about normal things. As the sun set, I stood with Tyler, watched Melissa, our new neighbor, move in. The place finally felt like home again. And the texts started coming, victims from Arizona, other states, people Brenda had hurt years ago. Harris passed it on to their DA. Justice would ripple out far beyond our street. I took my badge out, set it on the mantle, a reminder that sometimes you never really stop being who you are. You know, Tyler asked me once if I thought Brenda was sorry. I told him I hope so, but some people are only sorry they got caught. But he was right. You can't carry anger forever. The world keeps spinning, and what matters most is protecting the people you love, doing what's right, even when it's hard. So I'll ask you, what would you do if you found out someone in your neighborhood was doing this? Would you look the other way, or would you stand up, even if it meant facing down your own HOA president? Share your thoughts below. What's justice mean to you? Drop your city or HOA horror story in the comments. Hit like if you made it this far, and subscribe if you want to see what happens when the truth finally comes out.